Hi, you guys. Welcome to day 8 of Hot Topics and Cold Drinks. This series is for adults 50 and over, specifically corporate executive parents from families that have invested and continue the tradition of higher education. This event is created exclusively, and I emphasize, for adults 50 and over, especially for those of us who are corporate executives, past or present, part of households that have invested in private education, people who understand that values, not trends, are what guide families. I'm your host, Antoinette Wolf, a former corporate executive, now turned writer, philanthropist, licensed real estate agent, and mother. Each evening, we gather here to center ourselves in clarity and in conversation. A featured book that aligns with purpose, legacy, and awareness, a wellness tip for women navigating through menopause, a discussion about parenting in today's digital world where online cruelty, misinformation, and influence culture challenge everything that we've built. And yes, every night begins and ends with poetry from my book, She Shines Anyway, because grounding ourselves in intention is how we stay present and powerful. Before we get into tonight's poem, the very first thing I would like to do is introduce my drink of the night, my cool drink. I'm drinking Poppy. And this one, and I don't know if you guys have ever had it, it's really good. It's a prebiotic soda. And what I love about it is that it's very low in calories. There's only 30 calories inside of it. And some of the ingredients, like it's all organic. So it has like sparkling water, organic cane sugar. This one has apple cider vinegar, raspberry juice, lemon juice, and agave. Let's have a toast to tonight. Have a sip with me. Raspberry rose. I like it. This is my first time having this one. I'll give it a 8. I like it. Raspberry rose. It looks like White Zinfandel, doesn't it? It does. From Germany. Anyway, so, oh yeah, we're going to talk about tonight's poem from this book here, She Shines Anyway. And like I mentioned before to you guys, this is for these are 76 poems for the woman that refuses to dim her light. And I actually edited this book in under an hour using AI. I talk a lot about AI because I'm a huge fan of it, because it has taken my business to a whole new level. And we're going to talk about that some more after this poem. But the poem that I want to read tonight is called No Applause Necessary. I don't need your claps. I'm not performing. This isn't a stage. It's a survival story unfolding. I didn't come for validation. I came for liberation. Every step I take isn't for your praise, it's for my peace. Some people only celebrate you when they feel taller beside you. But when you grow past their reach, the silence is sudden and loud. Keep your applause. I got my breath in my lungs and light in my soul. That's more than enough. Do you guys like that? Anyway, you can find this book and many others at my website, bewellnesscenter.shop, but you can also find it on amazon.com. Okay, so I wanted to start with the business center tonight. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into that, or the business corner, and why corporate executives have an edge in entrepreneurship with AI. If you've worked in corporate America for many years, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting with a foundation most new entrepreneurs can only dream of. You've spent decades refining skills in leadership, operations, strategic planning, compliance, and risk management. You understand how to analyze numbers, manage teams, and identify market opportunities without getting distracted by trends that don't align with your objectives. That's a major reason why corporate executives often have the highest probability of succeeding when they transition into business ownership. With roughly 50% of all new businesses failing within their first 5 years, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, corporate experience provides a critical edge. In fact, Research published in the Harvard Business Review found that entrepreneurs with a detailed business plan are 16% more likely to succeed. Your executive level discipline is strategy and execution honed over years directly reduces these risks. This is exactly where AI tools come in. The purpose of these tools is to eliminate as much financial risk as possible by replacing guesswork with accurate, data-driven decision making. According to a U.S. Census Bureau study, very small businesses that have adopted AI have reported higher productivity and lower operational costs. AI allows you to test marketing campaigns before overspending, identify market gaps before investing, and streamline operations so that you don't lose time or money on inefficiencies. And there's another critical benefit: background checks, which I'm huge on, okay? In today's business environment, who you partner with matters as much as what you sell. AI can help verify potential hires, vendors, contractors, and even clients, not just for credentials, but for patterns, affiliations, known associates that might signal risk. This isn't paranoia, it's protecting your investment, your brand, and your reputation, especially when over 80% of businesses that fail cite cash flow problems, according to the U.S. Bank study. Now, based on their proven effectiveness for corporate leaders transitioning into entrepreneurship, here are some of the AI tools best suited for corporate America. First of all, ChatGPT Advanced for rapid copywriting, market research, and internal process automation. Jasper AI for high quality marketing, content, and branding assets. Canva with Magic Studio for instant creation of professional grade visuals and presentations. Grammarly Business for clear, consistent client stakeholder communication. Surfer SEO or ClearScope to ensure your online content ranks and reaches your target audience without the guesswork. Now, when you combine your corporate level discipline with these top tier tools, you're not just starting a business, you're building one that's structured to thrive without necessary financial risk. So I hope you guys are taking in these little tidbits that I'm giving you, because as you know, if you are someone that's transitioning from corporate America to your own business, I offer services to help you with that transition. You can go to my website, bewellnesscenter.shop, and click on one of the services and we'll set up a consultation. Let's go on to tonight's featured book after a little sip of my poppy. Ooh, poppy. All right. So tonight's featured book is this book here, Become a Better You. Tonight's featured book is Become a Better You by Joel Osteen, who is a faith-based personal development guide built around 7 proven principles for living a more fulfilled, purpose-driven life. Joel Osteen is one of the most recognized Christian pastors and motivational speakers in the world. He's one of my favorite. I have to tell you, I have been listening to Joel and his wife Victoria for about let's see, I'd say realistically about 18 years. Okay. Yeah, so he's one of the most recognized Christian pastors and motivational speakers in the world. He serves as the senior pastor of Lakewood Church in Houston, Texas, the largest church in the United States, with weekly services reaching tens of thousands in person and millions more via television and online broadcast in over 100 countries. Known for his uplifting, practical messages that blend faith with personal empowerment, Osteen has authored multiple #1 New York Times bestsellers, selling over 45 million copies worldwide. His work consistently focuses on hope, resilience, and the power of positive thinking, making him a trusted voice for people seeking both spiritual and practical guidance. Now, one of the things I want to tell you is that we're going to discuss another book of his and his wife later this month, because again, I'm a huge supporter of the Osteens. I think they're amazing. I think that he is very positive, and I can tell you that there has been many times where I have leaned on some of the reminders that he shared about how great having a higher power is when you tap into God's magic. But that's neither here nor there. This isn't a religious show. Anyway, let's talk about the 7 steps that he discusses in the book. So he talks about 7 steps. 1, keep pressing forward. No matter your age, there's always another level to reach. Be positive towards yourself. What you say internally matters as much as what you do externally. Develop better relationships. Surround yourself with people who uplift, not drain your energy. Okay? Form better habits. Success is the best result of consistent, intentional choices. Embrace the place where you are. Gratitude unlocks growth. Develop your inner life. Nurture your faith, reflection, and emotional strength. And finally, stay passionate about life. Approach each day with purpose and energy. Now, Joel's book is not just motivational, it's actionable, making it perfect for leaders, parents, and anyone seeking alignment between values and actions. All right. And if you're a person, again, that's thinking about leaving corporate America and taking a leap forward into your own thing, like the best thing that you can do is to hold on to some faith, and if you need some help, this is a nice book to help you make that transition. And you can find, I'll share with you in a little bit where you can find that book. Anyway, so tonight's hot topic, let's have a sip before we go into the hot topic of the night, okay? Tonight's hot topic is the teen mental health crisis, facts, experts, and the government's silence. Now, we have been touching on this for several nights, okay? But tonight, I want to go deeper into what has become a nationwide and global teen mental health crisis. The statistics are staggering. According to the CDC, in 2023, 40% of high school students reported persistent feelings of sadness and hopelessness. Rates of suicidal thoughts and attempts have risen by over 30% in the last decade, not according to the National Institute of Mental Health 2024. Now, the Pew Research Center reports that 59% of U.S. teens have been bullied or harassed online, with 90% saying it's a major problem among their peers. And the American Psychological Association identifies social media exposure, cyberbullying, and algorithm-driven comparison culture as significant contributors to declining youth mental health. A UNESCO report 2023 found that online harassment impacts girls disproportionately, with long-term effects on self-esteem, academic performance, and future career opportunities. Now, why isn't anyone doing anything? Why are these people online that are attacking others from behind artificial intelligence generated images? And how can we get it to stop? Why, after having outrageous numbers like this, is nothing changing? Because at the end of the day, not only is cyberbullying a big deal, but the numbers connected to human trafficking linked to online activity are so damn high that it's actually embarrassing. Okay, now based on the latest available reports for 2025, the trends for human trafficking and online exploitation continue, with some alarming new developments. Now, let me share with you a couple of things. According to the Polaris Project in 2025, they released its 2024 data, which provides the most recent complete annual statistics, that in 2024, the National Human Trafficking Hotline received 32,309 signals, which included 8,000 contacts from victims and survivors. This data reinforces that online platforms remain a primary method for recruitment through specific numbers for online cases in 2025, and they are still being collected. Now, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children data for 2024 shows a concerning shift that while the total number of the cyber tip line reports decreased from 36 million in 2023 to 20 million in 2024, this was largely attributed to changes in how online platforms reported the incidents. However, reports of online enticement surged by 192%, and reports related to generative AI increased by a staggering 1,325% as of early 2025. Now, they already received over 100,000 reports involving GAI and child sexual exploitation, okay, indicating that this is rapidly an escalating threat. Now, the UNODC continues to highlight the evolving role of technology in trafficking. In a recent joint statement, they emphasized that traffickers increasingly use digital platforms to recruit and exploit victims. This includes using social media, gaming, and fake job offers. The UNODC's focus for 2025 includes addressing the disruption of financial flows and the growing role of digital technologies in human trafficking, reinforcing that online exploitation is a central and growing challenge. And when you break this down, 20.5 million reports in 1 year equals 56,000 incidents every single day, more than 2,300 every hour. That means that while we're sitting here talking tonight, hundreds of children are being targeted, exploited, and lured online. Now, experts like Dr. Jean Twenge, author of iGen, points directly to the rise of smartphones and unsupervised online life as key inflection points for this decline. Now, Dr. Samir Hinju, co-director of Cyberbullying Research Center, notes that unchecked online harassment can erode mental health and increase the risk of self-harm, especially in vulnerable teens. Now, yet, despite knowing these factors, the government's intervention remains minimal, with no substantial nationwide programs for digital literacy, parental monitoring tools, or school-based early intervention systems. And this is exactly why I wrote one of my books, Do Your Job, A Parent's Manifestation to Protection, Privacy, and Power. This is one of them. This is the paperback workbook for parents and kids to work together. Anyway, so parents don't need to wait for policy changes when they have tools, strategies, and awareness at their disposal right now, you know? And so you can find these books, Become a Better You, Do Your Job, and She Shines Anyway, all at Barnes & Noble's, Amazon.com, and of course, BeWellnessCenter.shop. All right, now before we close, I'm going to take another sip, but then I'm going to go ahead and do our closing poem. Our closing poem for tonight is Resentment Smells Like Perfume. She hugs you like roses, but something bitter lingers. You leave the room smiling, then you feel her fingerprints and rumors. She dresses in kindness, wraps in a charm, but underneath the compliments is a soft-spoken harm. Resentment doesn't always raise its voice. It wears perfume, subtle, lingering, sticking to everything you do. You'll notice it in the tension, in the way your name dries her mouth. You'll smell it long after she's gone, and once you do, step out of the room. Did you like that one? If you did, you know where you can find it, BeWellnessCenter.shop. So yeah, that's it. All I have for tonight. Tomorrow, I want to share something that, well, I'll wait until tomorrow, okay? So that's it. So we read our poem, and hey, because no matter how heavy the world is, conversations like this is what grounds us in words and restore focus, dignity, and hope. All right, so make sure you guys join me tomorrow. Come back, and I'll see you then. Have a great day tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye.